Hello and welcome to the episode of Todd Talk. When Todd talks, people listen. Hopefully, some of you got the reference, I'm sure. Today we are here with another Death Battle preview, and this time it's for a very unique matchup via Shadow the Hedgehog in his third Death Battle, and Ryuko Matoi from Kill la Kill. I'm so glad I got that right when I talked about the prediction or the reveal last week. I was like, is that Kill la Kill? I mean, there's a Gami got killed, there's Kill la Kill, there's a lot of kills. And there's a lot of kills in the show. But yes, today we are dissecting that matchup. You could say we're gonna. No, I'm not gonna make the scissor joke. But yes, we're gonna break that down because yeah, this is gonna be fun. I always enjoy the anime fights because I want to learn just how crazy anime is at times. Because I've seen Dragon Ball and Outlaw Star and certain other My Hero Academia and certain other ones, but I've never seen like the top tier OG fan service ones. And yeah, this is that one. But first, Shadow the Hedgehog. We start with the tale of a Robotnik, but not Ivo Robotnik, the Eggman. No, we are talking, of course, about Gerald Robotnik. He is the grandfather of Eggman, and he was actually a more altruistic person at first. And he had a wish to heal his granddaughter, Maria, who had an incurable disease. He was contracted by the military for Project Shadow to create the ultimate life form, and he felt that if he could do this, he could find a way to cure all diseases like the one that Maria had. After several failed attempts and really weird creations, he eventually found that a hedgehog form was was the reason for this. Now, there's various reasons apparently for this. I didn't look too deep into it, but apparently one fan noted that Robotnik studied the Kinda clan, and we all know have the connection to the Master Emerald, and that led him to thinking that hedgehogs with their ability, it doesn't matter. He figured out a hedgehog would work, and via Black Doom, an alien species slash race slash person, created Shadow the Hedgehog. Now, originally, Shadow was just a regular hedgehog, ultimate life form kind of thing. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. And he had bonded with the granddaughter Maria, and they actually became good friends. But then the military came in, deemed Shadow too dangerous, and killed Maria as Shadow tried to save her. He eventually was put into stasis for 50 years until Ivo Robotnik woke him up to basically, take over the world. And then Shadow was like, yeah, I'm just going to destroy it because they killed Maria. And then eventually he was saved, became an ally to Sonic, and then he became just an ally to the whole Sonic team. And yeah, he's just so edgy. He's a good guy, but he's also like an anti-hero, and he's of course an edge lord. And you take what you can do. But what separates Shadow from Sonic is a few things, but ironically, not really. They're kind of like the same thing, just an antithesis to one another. While Sonic is, gotta go fast, quick with the one-liners and everything. Shadow is more serious. He's more driven. He believes in his purpose, and he'll fight for it with all he has. And because they are basically the same entity, Shadow can match and sometimes even surpass Sonic the Hedgehog in terms of speed, strength, ability, and so on. And we'll be getting into that a little bit later. But another thing is that Shadow was imbued basically with chaos energy, which is the same thing that powers the Chaos Emeralds. And so his attacks, his body, and his connection to this force is what gives him a lot of his power. So when you see his attacks, a lot of it has to do with chaos energy. And in fact, he'll even use chaos energy with each attack to build himself up to get stronger. And then with the Chaos Emeralds, he has what's called Chaos Control. He can use the emeralds to do various abilities and manipulations, including his personal favorite, teleportation, and just wrecking people. Oh yeah, and he stops time. Yeah. And you thought Kill la Kill was weird. No, yes, he could stop time for a short period, or just warp time, slow it down, and of course distort time and space so that he can teleport. Um, Now, in terms of regular abilities, he's basically Sonic the Hedgehog. He has the spin dash, but and he has basically all Sonic's spin dash moves and everything. But he also has his own, including like Chaos Blast, where he just obliterates somebody with a lot of chaos energy. He has certain chaos bursts. He has a black tornado where he can create a whirlwind of black chaos energy and just like throw people away and blast away armors and weapons. But again, the basis of his stuff is chaos energy. Um, and then it comes really in handy when he goes into Super Shadow mode, which, as you know, is basically supersonic but with shadow because they're oh so clever. With Super Shadow mode, he obtains a higher peak of endurance, strength, and speed, as well as being able to harness the literal maximum amount. I almost said infinite. It's not infinite, but maximum amount of power of chaos energy and the chaos emeralds. In fact, it's actually stated by Shadow himself that he, not Sonic, is the only one who can use the true maximum power of the chaos emeralds, and that gives him a lot of power. So it makes him a true ultimate life form. Now, just how fast is he? So he's been in 2 death battles, but they never really calculated his true speed. All they said is that he was, as fast, if not faster, than Sonic the Hedgehog, which is true. But I rewatched the Mario vs. Sonic 2 battle where they actually dissected his speed, and Sonic is stated that via the singularity feat and the wisps feat, some of you will get that joke, wisps, that Sonic is able to go at about 200 million miles per hour. Now that's not light speed. He cannot achieve light speed on his own. In supersonic form, he can go close to light speed apparently, and then in hypersonic form, he can go beyond. He can go beyond light speed. But for supersonic, let's just say it's like really close to light speed. And so with Shadow is technically faster than Sonic, and has proven this in several instances. And so with Super Shadow form, he's basically light speed. And he has technically other forms that allow him to increase his power, including I think he has a Chaos form, if I recall correctly. It's always hard to keep the names straight, but I need to make like a notes list. I swear. It only took me like 180 episodes to realize that. So he can basically go light speed when in Super Shadow form, and then his power with Chaos Control is immense. But there's still more. Shadow has inhibitor rings. They're very fashionable, but no, he has inhibitor rings that hold back what he can do. When he drops the rings, he has his maximum power available to him before even going into Super Shadow form, and it's this power that can just obliterate people, and it's a lot. The catch, though, is that though he can use that maximum amount of energy, it tires him out a lot. All right. Now, strength feats. You really don't think about the strength feats we talk about Sonic, but he's gone up against some of the uh, most fearsome foes in his universe, including Black Doom, and defeated him. He once defeated 100 clones of a very powerful enemy on his own. With Chaos Control, he has moved, various things. Like Sonic moved a 15-mile wide arc with Chaos Control, and Sonic or Shadow has more Chaos Control abilities than him. Again, he can stop time, which is a very incredible feat, and so on and so forth. The other thing, though, is that because of his what do I want to call it? Composition. He basically has a healing factor and a very powerful one. If you recall the time where our Shadow fell from the atmosphere, from space to the Earth, and was only slightly bruised, and of course he has amnesia. How many times does this guy get amnesia? Can we just be honest with ourselves? How many times does this guy get amnesia? Anyway, he was saved by the robot, but had a lot of physical damage because of re-entry. Because again, he's a living being roasted alive. He got back up like seconds later, which makes you wonder how he had amnesia. But Sonic Team. So the other thing is that he just has this incredible drive. Like, he is so driven. He is never afraid to show his power. Sonic will hold back. He'll tease people. He'll dance around them. Shadow don't give a crap. Shadow will go full force right from the start. He wants to end the fight. He wants to prove he's better. and again, the ultimate life form. And as such, he will not hold back. And even when he's like in extreme pain, his will drives him to keep going. He will not stop ever. Period. End story. So yeah. Now, he does have some weaknesses, including, if you recall, the Mewtwo fight being very susceptible to mental manipulation, such as brainwashing, being tricked, uh, being dominated by certain forces. He has grown resistant to that, but it's, as we saw the Mewtwo fight, which is much more accurate than the Vegeta fight. It still happens, but that's it. All right, and you can tire him out eventually, but that's hard. Even Sonic couldn't do it. Shadow has canonically beaten Sonic in battle. So if Nine, the fastest thing alive, can beat this guy, then yeah, he probably is the ultimate life form. All right, Ryuko Matoi, Kill Kill, anime. I don't even know where to start with this one. All right, let's go with what Death Battle talked about. A long time ago on their version of Earth, an alien species that would be known as life fibers descended to the planet, and they attached themselves to what would be known as humans, because they were the most intelligent life form. These life fibers were able to basically grow alongside them and eventually become the very clothes that they wear, more or less. And these life fibers would go and get stronger through the human. They're basically parasitic, but they also can be symbiotic in their own way. It's it's anime. What do you want? So eventually, a woman named Raguya, I believe her name is. I'm going to butcher some of these names, so I'm trying to keep it small. Named Raguya found the original life fiber entity and wanted to experiment on it because, like Boomstick says, humans will be humans, and create a being that would be the perfect symbiosis of human life and life fibers. She tried this on her first daughter. It failed because she was too old. She tried this on her second daughter, and she thought it failed, and she was so grieved, not grieved, sad. There you go. She's so sad that it failed that she just freaking dumped her daughter and left her to die. Unfortunately for her, Raguya, her husband wasn't so amused, and so he saved the daughter, gave himself a facial makeover, became Ishin Matoi, I think, and raised her in secret as Ryuko Matoi. And this is where the story really begins, because eventually her father, who she always has strained relationship with, was killed by a scissor blade. Yes, a scissor blade anime. So the scissor blade was a two-part weapon, literally like the left hand of the scissors and the right hand of the scissors. And then he was killed by one half of it, and then his killer took the other half. And so Ryuko was given a choice to either live a regular life and not avenge him, or take the scissor blade that was plunged into his chest. He was somehow still talking anime, and we need to do shot count every time I say anime, but don't do that at home. Don't do that at home. But she took the scissor blade and transferred to an academy that was literally made for children who had life fiber suits, or clothes. Wait for it, anime. So at this place, there are every academy student has a uniform that is made out of life fibers, and it's a certain amount of life fibers per person, or per rank, I guess I should say. And so at first, she didn't have a chance against these people, but she needed to go against them because she found out that one of them had information about who killed her father. Eventually, she found her own life fiber clothes called a kamui. There's only two of them in existence. And this one was called Senketsu. Yeah, Senketsu. I want to say Sengetsu. That's something different. Senketsu. And this one was specifically made by Ishin, her father, to be for Ryuko. And yeah, it's alive. It likes to drink her blood, and it transforms her into a very scantily clad teenage girl because, wait for it, anime! Are we having fun yet? I'm having fun. So, in this new form, Ryuko was able to amplify her own powers because the Senketsu was literally made of life fibers and human DNA, in this case Ryuko's, which is why she and only she is really able to wield it to its full power, and thus she was able to go and become a much greater warrior. And through the Senketsu and her own connection to the life fibers, she has enhanced strength, enhanced speed, enhanced durability, and an insane healing factor that even Wolverine would be impressed by, or Deadpool, or both. And you might, for those who watched the show, you might remember the scene where she was literally sliced in half, but she survived because of one tiny life thread being still stuck together between her two halves, and thus she was able to survive. Or the time when her own mother, Raguya, found her and ripped her heart out, just to show her that, plot twist, her experiment didn't fail, and she really is a hybrid of humanity and life fibers because anime. So, and then, Kaguya, or sorry, Kaguya, that's someone else. So Ryuko chopped off her hand and then just let her heart heal itself by just going right back into her chest. Now, the key thing here is that Ryuko, as a being of life fibers, cannot be harmed severely or killed permanently without a weapon that can specifically cut life fibers, like the scissor blade, which is why her rival, Nui, I believe, took one half of the blade, and why Raguya tried to get it from her so that she could use it herself. Now, the catch with her powers, and this needs to be said, is that while she is incredibly strong and she was able to use various super forms like a berserker mode when she got angry, and a perfect synchronous version of her form. I'm not even going to try and describe that one. Basically, her suit can evolve. Her suit can evolve and give her extra powers and abilities. Like, for example, she eventually found out that she had rocket thrusters on her back, which is actually kind of awesome. And her suit was actually able to develop spikes one time, and so on and so forth. So this Senketsu can evolve, but her own abilities are tied to her blood intake by Senketsu. The more blood it takes, the shorter time span that she can fight. It's a time limit every time she fights. In fact, Senketsu, who again is alive, warns her via certain ways that she's going to be running out of time soon. So now they were able to limit this, and she's able to go longer periods. And again, she has that berserker mode, which like totally ramps up her power. But that one also drains her blood a lot quicker, and she can even bleed out within a few minutes if she pushes her body too far. So she's very powerful. She was able to defeat her mother and Nui, and actually erase the life fibers from existence, including Senketsu, who risked his life to save her upon reentry. What is it with these people? I'm falling from reentry. He burned up in the process to save her life. So, but even without the fight, or without Senketsu, she was incredibly strong on her own, able to defeat multiple students at her school, beat monsters called clovers, I think they were called. Oh, covers. That was those covers, and so on and so forth. So even without her clothes, that just sounds so weird. An anime girl without her clothes. But even without Senketsu, she's incredibly powerful. So yeah, she's a. I was gonna make a kill joke, but I don't want to make that pun. Anyway, it's a weird anime. What do you want from me? All right, so who wins in a fight between Shadow and Ryuko? Oh, sorry, Ryuko. This one actually was kind of tipped off to me by my dear fans. That would be you. Apparently, Shadow has this in the bag because of certain factors. One very detailed fan, who I thank, noted that in the anime, it specifically stated that even with the life fibers like and clothing like Senketsu, no person can go beyond light speed or at light speed. Shadow, even on his own, can technically go close to light speed, and then with Super Shadow and some of his other powered forms, he can absolutely go light speed. So he's already got the speed advantage. The other problem is that if you actually look up Ryuko, she doesn't exactly have a lot of special abilities. She's very much a, fly around, slice you with the scissor blade kind of thing. This isn't like Dragon Ball where she has, an infinite amount of attacks like a Gallic gun and a Final Flash and everything. She doesn't have that. I checked. I checked like a couple different wikis because I had no idea. But no, she's very much, about speed and power, endurance, and healing ability, which is fine because there's nothing wrong with just a straight up, scissor fight. But it doesn't exactly help her. So Shadow has the ability, has the edge in versatility between his natural attacks, his chaos energy, his chaos control, and everything in between. And apparently they're going to give him like some sonic special shields and items, so that also helps him out. Strength, that's tricky because again, you don't really think of the strength feats when you talk about Sonic the Hedgehog, but he's faced foes that are, galaxy level kind. I'm not going to make that claim. He's faced very powerful foes within the franchise. Let's just say that. But so has Ryuko. Again, she had to fight her entire school, and then eventually fight her rival in Nui, and then her own mother. And she's beaten all of them in both technical and literal ways, including using Senketsu to literally drain her mother of her energy just so she could be defeated. And then Ryuga killed herself because anime. So there's that. So I honestly am not going to make a determination on the healing factor, or sorry, the strength factor, because I really don't know. It's honestly hard to tell. I know that Shadow is strong because he compares to Sonic, who's done incredible things. And Ryuko is strong because she's apparently obliterated a building with one punch, not to mention fought off, these other beings with a life fiber. So they're both strong. Healing factor, I'm going to give to Ryuko because, again, if she has even one life fiber attached to her, she's going to come back, and she's had her heart ripped out, beating in front of her, and she lived because, it wasn't cutting the life fibers. So she has that edge. And she also has the edge in, let's just call it, I guess durability. Let's call it durability because only a thing that can cut life fibers can kill Ryuko. Oh, sorry, Ryuko. I don't know why I'm saying Ryuko. It's Ryuko. I apologize. Again, anime names. What am I going to do? So you'd think that Shadow would be screwed because he has nothing that can cut a life fiber. Oh, okay. You could make an argument that chaos energy could do it in a way, but that is theory, not fact. And as we've seen in many death battles, if they can't definitively prove something, they will not call it canon. All right, like Thor and Wonder Woman. Everyone knows that Wonder Woman can lift that hammer. She's like the purest spirit on Earth. All right, on DC's Earth, she could totally lift the hammer, and yet they didn't show that in the fight because technically they can't prove definitively that she could. So that's the same thing here. Could the chaos energy and the chaos blast technically destroy the life fibers? Maybe, but we can't make that distinction. That being said, we know that Ryuko has something that can kill life fibers. It's her scissor blade. That's right. She's wielding the very thing that can kill her. And that was used against her multiple times in the show. And since Shadow can teleport, has better speed, and has abilities that can actually knock weapons away, like Black Tornado, he can get that scissor blade and literally chop her in half, or fourths, or fifths, or whatever, and then blast her away because we got to have a chaos blast in here somewhere. So what this really comes down to is not strength or anything. It's about the ability to figure out a way to kill the other. Shadow's going to try everything at first and realize that he can't kill him, and then when he'll probably figure out that scissor blade might be able to kill her, and thus take it from her, and deal's done. Because remember, Shadow's not an idiot, all right? He's not as impulsive as Sonic. He's a very clear thinker most of the time, and it doesn't have amnesia, so he's able to think pretty well. So he'll figure it out one way or the other, or because Ryuko's kind of chatty, she's gonna spill the beans that her blade can cut life fibers, but he can't, and so he'll take the blade and use it against her, just like many enemies in Kill la Kill. So because of that, I'm gonna have to say that Shadow the Hedgehog is finally gonna get a win in Death Battle. Then again, I picked him against Mewtwo, and we all know how that went. Oops. See, that was one I should have gone more fanboy in, but I didn't take certain things literally. So okay, but I'm not gonna make that mistake again. So between my research, your suggestions, and the very well thought out plans that all of us have thought, yeah, I'm gonna have to pick Shadow the Hedgehog to beat Ryuko Matoi. So we'll see, won't we? So with that, I'm ending this episode of Todd Talk. What do you think is going to happen in the battle between Shadow and Ryuko? How do you think it's going to end? And how about the voice acting? I'm curious of the voice acting because they've used the same voice actor for Shadow 2 different times, and they had him ham it up the second time in the Mewtwo fight, which I really was annoyed about. But maybe they'll tone it down this time. I really don't know. So let me know in the comments below. So I thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I know you were listening, and I'll see you around.